My guest on the program is Engineer Clement Nze, the Director General, Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency. He walks us through some of the challenges faced by the agency as it tries to help stop flooding across the country. And on top of that list is the fact that many state governors ignore the flood warnings and do not prepare for the floods. And there's more. Nigeria does not have a sufficient reservoir to handle the water released from dams like the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon into Nigeria. Engineer Nze, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you. You're welcome.
The rains are coming, and every year it's like a recurring decimal where floodings will happen. Governors will cry out. They will ask for funding. The funding will come. Everybody will pretend that it hasn't devastated everybody for a while. Then the next year we'll start again, the same process. I haven't seen a change, at least personally. I haven't seen a change in the modus operandi when it comes to flooding in this country. Talk to us about why this is the same situation every single year and what major challenge the agency is facing.
In fact, what you mentioned here is quite pathetic. Year in, year out, the agency goes out on air early enough to sensitize the citizens. Like in 2020, because of the pandemic, the Honorable Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Suleiman Adamu, authored letters to each of the governors in Nigeria. Each governor was informed. These are the local government areas in their own state that will be affected by flood in the course of the year 2020. Details were given, documents were supplied, dispatched to the government house in each of the states in Nigeria. It was only a few states that heeded that warning. Now,
well, when you say heed the warning, maybe put things in place.
Put things in place, yes,
Okay.
that's what I mean. Put things in place. Like I was in the studio with the governor of Kebbi State, His Excellency, Senator Abubakar Bagudu. He mentioned that the agency's prediction and the early warning helped them to ensure that not much was lost, even though you can't forestall flooding 100%.
So
that lost a lot in terms of agricultural land.
Give me an idea of how this works. So if you send a letter to a state and you said there's going to be flooding in such and such and such local government area, what can the government do? What can the state government do to forestall that situation?
One, the aggressive campaign to deseat every canal, especially within the cities, clear the drainages, ensure that people who are doing agricultural practices within the river banks are relocated within safe time, so that they can be visiting the place of the agricultural practice, and then instead of them being consumed overnight by the flood, these are things that could be done. Then pull down structures that are within the flood plains, remove all of them. It's better that you save lives and property than to lose life, lose property. People doing business within the flood plain. So this is what most of those who heeded our warnings, they did. But
so like you're saying many state governors do not heed these warnings?
They don't. They only wait for when the problem has happened, and then NEMA and other humanitarian agencies begin to dole out materials, mattresses, buy rice, and all kinds of things. And again, you spend so much in the area of rehabilitation and then you ask me a question about our challenges.
Yes.
The agency, the entire country is our catchment, is our constituency. We do a lot of travels. We cover the entire country. We measure most of the rivers in Nigeria and their tributaries. So the agency has some challenges when it comes to operational vehicles to keep one moving. Like we move everywhere, every part of the country.
So just vehicles?
We need operational vehicles. We need tools for our forecasting, our prediction.
What kind of tools?
Computers. We need the equipment we use to weigh the rivers, what we call DCPs, ADCP. We used to take like boat. Conventionally, let me just use that word simply. Boat we used to take measurements in our rivers. So some of things are not adequate enough. Manual gauge stations that we measure the rivers every day. Every day. Yeah, if I call somebody in local, then he will tell me by 6 a.m. this morning, this was the flow, the height. I can tell you what it means. So we take measurements every day. And so it affects the issue of funding. I know it is a global issue, or across the country, not only the agency, but instead of spending so much to do rehabilitation, relief materials, I think such part of it should be diverted to the agency to enable us to do proper prediction. And
Speaking of prediction, we've not gotten the flood prediction for 2021.
Yes.
And the rains are here.
Yes, the rain's already here.
But even if you gave us the flood prediction for 2021 today,
yes,
would the governors of these states be able to take the actions necessary before the flood starts?
Actually, as we speak, Taraba State is in the field. Sorry, Jigawa State. In fact, yesterday I spoke with one of the special assistants to the governor. They have been working based on they have been told. KB State has been working. That's the first casualty in terms of the flow of River Niger into Niger. That's the first point. When the River Niger enters Nigeria, KB State is the first. I am in touch with the governor, with some commissioner. One of them called me yesterday to tell me what they are doing.
Okay, so those are them. They are being proactive.
Proactive.
Okay,
and
so
then to your question is this. Now there is flooding in Nigeria. Actually starts from June, actually July, August, September, part of October. That's where the time the soil moisture content,
that's a
is
month
high.
from today.
I'm talking about July.
Okay, so 2 months from today.
Okay, if you say so.
Will 2 months
And
be
in
enough?
September, you still have May, you still have June.
Okay. So let's talk about how this has been going on. Last year alone, 68 people died
Yes.
from flooding. 68 people lost their lives. 129,000 people were displaced.
Yes.
And that's across the country and the FCT. So this is despite the early warnings, because last year your agency had the time, because everyone was on lockdown, you were able to give out all of these warnings early last year. So despite the early warnings from you, so do you think governments at various levels are doing enough to avert these cases? And you've talked about the fact that not many state governments are obeying the warnings that you give. So what can be done about that situation? How do we get them to be more serious about this? Or is it just easier for governors not to do anything, and then when the flooding happens, they all make their way to the villa and ask for funding? My people have been devastated. I have lost such and such farmlands. Our agricultural produce will not come out. We need money. Is it easier for them to do that? Do you think that's the reason why they don't heed these early warnings?
It looks like that one is much attractive than to do the needful. You see, during political campaigns, the politicians in the states use various media to get to the grassroots to do their campaign. The agency is saying that the same aggression with which politicians mobilize people should also be mobilized to enlighten them about the dangers of flooding. It is only the government that has the apparatus that can wield any power. Every state government has a town planning authority. Minister of Water Resources, Minister of Environment, each state government has it. What are they doing? Removing the structures that are within the floodplains, ensuring that people don't build in those places, and forcing people to do sanitation, to clean up their gutters. So this falls within the work that the state government should be able to do. Get to the grassroots, to enforce discipline with regards to throwing away garbages here and there.
Well, Engineer Nze, thank you so much for being with us on Dateline.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to have been here.